there are two different type of people that are trying to get their ex back, and I interact with both of these types in my one-on-one calls, and you really got to be careful not to be one of the types. So the two different types are, number one, people that have some inhibitions. They feel like they got lucky with their ex, and they're really sort of they have a lot of self-doubts about being able to get back out there and get the type of person that they really truly want. And then the second type of person understands what it takes to be out there and compete in the sexual marketplace. In other words, to be competitive with other people in their gender for the opposite sex, or same sex, and to be willing to put a lot of effort in, to play the game. In other words, to get the most out of this process of being single and dating. Now, why does this matter? Well, first of all, if your ex is broken up with you, you're no longer together, you're now competing for them with everybody else of the opposite sex or the same sex, depending on what you are. And when you're in the single dating world, whether your ex is seeing other people or not, they now have a choice. Okay, they're not emotionally attached to you the same way that they were when you guys were together. It's now incumbent upon you to do all the things that are necessary to be able to attract that new person in the dating world. So some people get it and some people don't. Some people, they either don't get it or they're just kind of scared and they don't really think they can really get out there and get what they want. For the people that get it, they understand that they need to be in shape, that they need to get the haircut every week if you're a dude, or if you're a girl, you're keeping your hair, done, your hair and nails done at a certain frequency. You have form-fitting clothes that, hug your body, make it look good. And, you've got a nice wardrobe. You have some kind of semblance of style, like modern style. And maybe on some level you push the envelope with your own style to be able to be comfortable getting noticed, even if it's just in little ways, with little accessories that you might have that really just aren't, cookie cutter. You've got hobbies that you've established that give you this interesting layer to your personality. And maybe through those hobbies, you have friends, some kind of a social circle, because you're engaged in the community, especially in this particularly interesting way. Maybe you've built up some status for yourself either in your career or in your social circle or with your hobbies or whatever. And that's another thing. You've put yourself out there enough with the opposite sex, or you've been on enough dates, or you've had enough bedroom experience or relationship experience, etc., where you feel confident around the opposite sex. You're making money, you're reading books, you do what's necessary to, feed your spirit. And you either get it that you should really push each one of these categories to the maximum that you can. And of course, we're all going to have categories of preference that we focus on first. Or you don't really push it that far and you just take what you can get within the little realm, within your little circle of reach, If you're in the second camp, that's okay. It's okay as long as you don't stay there, okay? The thing is that, and for me, I was in the second camp with my ex, a couple back. I thought I could never do any better than that. And I thought that I was lucky to be with her. And I thought that she was much more socially intelligent than I was. And she had strengths where I had weaknesses and all these things. And, ultimately I put up with bad behavior in the relationship because I thought I was lucky to be there. And I had to prove to myself in the dating world later that, that I could, do better. And that I didn't have to put up with bad behavior in the relationship. But I had to put in a lot of work to get beyond my circumstances, It really doesn't matter what you look like or what your social skills are or whatever, perceived or even just real disadvantage that you have. You can work with what you got and you can maximize that shit, right? And that's what everybody's doing. People that are really getting after it in the dating world, that's what they're doing. They're working with what they got and they're pushing it to the maximum. So take on the spirit of, be in the first camp, if you're not in there right now, get in there. So if you're not working out, go do that. Do everything, right? Just gloss over everything. And it's worth it because the person that you're going to pull out of this dating world, because we could write this off in a lot of ways. We could say, oh, they're shallow if you focus on your looks and all this kind of stuff. Okay, fine. But the person that you're going to pull out of this situation, the more attractive they are, the more you're going to want to have sex with them, the more intimate that you are, the more that you're connecting, right? There's all these good things that come out of it, right? So elevate yourself to the maximum, and let's see what you get out of this whole dating experience. And hopefully it's your ex. If you push yourself to the maximum, there's no reason why you can't get the person of your desire, the object of your desire. And if you want my help with this process, click into my profile and click the link right there and set up a call with me, and I'll hear your story, and I'll give you a step-by-step plan to get your ex back or find somebody new.